4.2 million years ago. The Earth is a different planet. There are no cities, no roads, no artificial lights visible from the dark side of the moon. It is a world of silence, broken only by the wind, the roar of the ocean, and the cries of beasts that no longer exist. This is the Pliocene epoch. The planet is warmer than it is today. The ice caps are smaller. The sea levels are higher. In East Africa, the great forests are dying, slowly turning into the golden grasslands that will one day cradle humanity. And down here, in the shadow of the Rift Valley, a small group of creatures is fighting for survival. They are Australopithecus anamensis. They are not quite apes, but not yet human. They stand just 4 feet tall. They have no fire. They have no language. They are prey. On a Tuesday afternoon, roughly 4,200,000 years ago, their struggle for survival was interrupted. Not by a predator, not by a volcano, but by something that entered the upper atmosphere at 30,000 miles per hour, something that was not a rock. To understand the impact of this event, we must understand the world it hit. The Pliocene was a land of monsters. The dominant tank of the African plains was the Deinotherium, a colossus, related to the elephant, but with tusks curving downward from its chin, used to strip bark from trees. Predators were everywhere. The giant hyena, capable of crushing the femur of an elephant, ruled the scavengers. And the cats, the Deinophilus and Homitherium, were specialized hunters of primates. Our ancestors lived in a state of constant adrenalized terror. The Australopithecus had one advantage: bipedalism. They could walk on 2 legs. This freed their hands to carry food, or perhaps to throw a stone. But their brains were still small, roughly the size of a chimpanzee's. Evolution was moving slowly, painfully slowly. Until that afternoon, if you were standing in the Turkana Basin of modern-day Kenya, you would have heard it before you saw it. A tearing sound, like the sky being ripped open. It wasn't a meteor. Meteors tumble. Meteors burn randomly. This object was correcting its course. Thrusters firing in desperate bursts of blue plasma, trying to fight the grip of Earth's gravity. Imagine a survey vessel from a star system we might call Sirius or Gliese. Perhaps it was a drone. Perhaps it was manned. A malfunction in the propulsion drive left them stranded in the gravity well of a primitive, water-rich planet. The impact didn't cause an extinction event. It wasn't an asteroid. It was a hard landing. The craft plowed into the soft sediment of a dried riverbed, carving a trench 3 miles long. Dust rose into the air, blotting out the sun. For the hominids nearby, it was the wrath of the sky. They huddled in caves, shivering as the ground shook. They waited for death. But death didn't come. Instead, silence returned. But it was a new kind of silence. The smell of ozone and burning metal drifted across the savanna. Curiosity is a powerful instinct. It is what defines the primate lineage. 3 days after the crash, a scouting party of Australopithecus males crept toward the crater. What did they see? To them, it was a beast. A shiny, hard-skinned beast that did not bleed. It hummed with a sound that vibrated in their teeth. In a standard sci-fi movie, the aliens would attack. But in reality, a civilization capable of interstellar travel would view these hominids the way we view squirrels. Irrelevant. Part of the background. The survivors of the crash set up a perimeter. They deployed repair drones, floating spheres of light that buzzed around the hull, welding and fixing. For the hominids, this was a cognitive explosion. Their brains, wired for finding fruit and avoiding leopards, were suddenly trying to process artificial light, levitation, and metal. Neuroscientists suggest that awe, the feeling of witnessing something impossible, can trigger new neural pathways. By simply watching the visitors, the hominid brain was forced to expand. But perhaps the influence wasn't just visual. What if it was biological? The ship was damaged. Its reactor core, powered by exotic isotopes unknown to Earth, was leaking. Radiation, subtle but potent, seeped into the groundwater. It settled into the soil where the tubers grew. Evolution usually takes millions of years, but sometimes it jumps. Biologists call this punctuated equilibrium. The radiation from the crash site didn't kill the hominids, it altered them. Caused slight mutations in the FOXP2 gene, the gene responsible for complex language. It thickened the prefrontal cortex. One brave male ventured close to the wreckage. He found a shard of alien hull plating, sharper than any obsidian. He used it to slice meat. When the shard was lost, he tried to recreate it. He picked up a stone and napped it. This was the spark, the transition from using tools to making tools. The visitors were not colonizers. They were castaways. After 6 months of repairs, the drive was fixed. Without fanfare, without a goodbye, the ship engaged its engines. It shot upward, breaking the sound barrier one last time, and vanished into the void. They left behind a crater. But Earth is efficient. Within 1,000 years, the rains of the Pliocene filled the trench. It became a lake. The jungle swallowed the burn marks. The geological record is cruel. It grinds metal to dust and bone to powder. Today, if you dig in the Turkana Basin, you will find the fossils of Australopithecus. You will find the first crude stone tools dating to roughly 3.3 million years ago. We assume these were made by natural evolution, but there is a gap, a missing link, a sudden jump in brain size that scientists struggle to explain. Did a crash in the prehistoric past jumpstart our journey to humanity? We look for aliens with radio telescopes, listening for signals from deep space. But perhaps we are looking in the wrong direction. Perhaps we shouldn't be looking up, but looking down, beneath the rock, under the fossilized layers of the Pliocene. The truth might not be out there. It might be in our blood. What do you think? Was human evolution a happy accident, or were we nudged by a visitor from the stars? Let me know in the comments. And subscribe to Antiquities Veil as we continue to uncover the history that could have been.